tell me about this contrasting parallel journey. On the one hand, you are deep in the corporate advertising world of Japan, and on the other hand, there's this little shoot of yoga in your life.
I first started practicing yoga maybe when I was 19. And there was a hot yoga in Hawaii. My host family took me there when I was on exchange. And then I was like, I might be good at this. Like, I feel calm and, it might be my thing. And yes, since then I started going to the different yoga studios in Japan after I come back home. But main thing was after I come back to Japan, my mother, my actual mother this time, invited me to study this energy work called Kiko in Japanese. And I didn't buy it in the beginning. It's like something we can't see. It sounds dodgy. I don't believe this. But my mom was like, she insisted, and then just sit in front of me and I work something on you, see if you feel anything. And I'm like, all right, rolling my eyes. But I did feel like a wave of energy coming from her and running through me. And I felt it so intense. I couldn't deny it anymore. So that was my first ever Shaktipat kind of energy transmission kind of experience. Yeah, that was around 19 or 20 years old. Since then, I started working on the energy work, learning, and started to experience a lot of funny things, knowing things before happening or sensing the presence of spirit or God and Shinto shrines that we go to. So that was like a turning point in terms of yoga / spirituality.
Mm-hmm. How beautiful to actually have your mother as your first guru in the traditional Indian way, which is written about, but which is not always possible with the patterning that mothers have on them.
Yeah. I think my mother also changed so much through that learning. We used to have a bit of tension between us. I'm the only child, but I don't know, we had a lot of disagreements how we want to do things. But after we both getting ourselves into this energy world or spiritual world, we started to see each other as a soul or just energy, rather than like seeing through each other as a label like daughter, mother, senior, or things like that. So we became free of that concept, and we started to have brand new relationship as a woman to woman kind of thing. So yeah, I feel really lucky to have her as my mother.
I love how you described that as a organic process that happened out of both of your feeling. I at one point in my life tried to force out of those roles with my mother. I started trying to call her by her name instead of mother, and it wasn't a natural shift like what you were describing, and it was disastrous, of course, because she wasn't ready to let go of those shapes, those forms, and so it was very hurtful to her. So for anyone listening, don't try this at home as a deliberate plan. Let it happen naturally.
Yep, that's the way. Yeah, organically.
And has she been interested along the way in your yoga journey as well?
She doesn't like to maybe learn too much about complicated philosophy or Sanskrit words, but she gets all the idea that I talk about, like pure consciousness as Shiva and potential creative energy as Shakti, and all that kind of beauty and non-dualistic practice of yoga, that God or divinity is not something far away from us, but it's us, it's in us, and all that kind of thing. She gets it. So she sometimes pop into my online workshop, even though we live far away. And then she's like, hey. And yeah, I think that's really cute.
That's really, really lovely. And that she's able to receive from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the healthiest relationship we have ever had. Like, we are at a really good place now.
I used to always, when people talked about relationship with parents like that, I used to think they were in denial or lying. I could not imagine it because it seemed too simple, or, you know, but I guess it's just the mind can't imagine harmony, you know, and it has been absolutely the effect from the yoga relationship and process has been that harmony with parent, like cutting through the patterns and being able to forge a relationship with the person they are underneath any of the patterns.
Even though you can have that kind of relationship with one person, one member of family, doesn't mean you can have the same for the rest of the family member as well. So yeah, it just happens, right?
Can be at peace with it on the inside, and maybe the peace comes through in the actual relating, and maybe it doesn't.